Well, let's start out by talking about what it was like watching.
The experience, the selection show, it was super fun. We have a great group of girls, and everybody's really excited for the next part of the season. And so I think everyone was a little nervous. My hands were sweating a bit, but yeah, I think everyone's just super excited.
Best seed BYU's ever had, but at the same point, it is 6 is the best that the women's team's ever had. But on the flip side, you guys were hoping maybe a little bit better. So how do you the two sides of that? What's that like to?
Yeah, I think this whole year, we've been doing big things for this program. And I think, going forward, we're just going to have a mindset of one game at a time and competing as best as we can. So I don't know if anyone's necessarily disappointed. I think everyone's just super excited for what's ahead.
I know what losing last year meant to you guys and how much motivation it's been all year. Mm-hmm. What's it feel like to now be back in the NCAA tournament with an opportunity to get rid of that bad taste in your mouth?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, this is why you play college basketball, right? Everyone plays, to be playing in March. So I think that, we had that expectation, we had that goal right from the start of the season. And to be here feels really good, but, it's almost like there's a lot more to come with that, right? We've got here now, we're in, in the big tournament, and now the real fun starts, because this is where college basketball is really, really won.
How stressed were you actually as you kind of kept waiting for your name, and then it finally happened?
Yeah, I was definitely sweating. I was sitting there and I was just like, we're really going to be the last section of the show. But we had confidence going in. We've been ranked for a while now, and we know how good our team is, and so the waiting wasn't fun, but we're in now, so it's happy. We're all happy.
Was there ever any tiny modicum of doubt in the back of your mind, we should be in, but what if?
Not really, no. I mean, no. I think we all had confidence right from the start that we were going to be in this position. So I think we're just happy.
Do you have any intel or insight about Villanova at all?
None whatsoever. So I can't tell you anything about them. But I guarantee you by tomorrow at practice, I probably will.
Probably not a whole lot of crossover from Colgate to Villanova, right?
No, none. Yeah.
What was your reaction when on the broadcast they were asking who's somebody in this region that could do some damage, and they picked Villanova?
Yeah.
What's going through your mind when you hear that?
If I'm being honest, I feel like this whole season, we've been, I don't want to say disrespected because I don't think that's the right word, but I think we've kind of been forgotten a little bit. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I think the way we play, the style of play we have, how competitive we are, the way we perform game in, game out, I think that we should maybe have a little bit more of that hype, but I would rather be on the team that has that performance than the team that gets all the hype and doesn't make it.
What are some of the things that you take from past tournament experience you can bring with you going into this tournament?
Just a lot of composure. I'm pretty old for college basketball, so me personally, I think I can bring a bit of that veteran composure. And just excitement too. I think it's such a joy, and there should be so much gratitude and excitement to be playing in March with such an amazing group of women and coaches. So I think it's really fun, and it should be fun, right? So I think going forward, that's really important to make sure we keep remembering why we play in March, right?
You've used your platform quite a bit to make things equal in sports. Just what are your thoughts on the efforts by the NCAA to have March Madness and 16 teams, things like that? Yeah,
so I'm really excited about that. I think, big things coming in that area. I just finished my master's thesis. I did a podcast called Second Class Citizens, which is out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts now, that looks at gender equity in Division I sports. So I think there's going to be big changes, especially this tournament. I think there's a lot of pressure on the NCAA to kind of improve or, drastically improve from last year's tournament, which obviously everyone knows about the weight rooms and all the disparities. But just having the bigger conversation, right, about promotion and, women's coverage and investment and all those, asking all the big questions about why women don't get more or, what's happening with TV coverage and things like that. So I think there's a long way to go, but that conversation's kind of vital right now around this time to make sure that conversation is still being had with people who have power and influence to make change.
Just from last year to this year, I mean, you were both obviously for selection day and whatnot, but did it feel like maybe a little bit bigger of an event this Selection Sunday, rolling everything out and kind of looking a little bit more like the men's bracket?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest difference, right, from last year to this year with Selection Sunday is last year it was more of a shock. And so I think we didn't have, the bells and whistles that are going on today because we kind of were hoping, right? And this year we did enough with our, pre-conference record and then our conference record to really establish ourselves in college basketball this year. So it's still as exciting. I think it's just there's less up and down kind of roller coaster emotions.
So parts of this team obviously have gone to the tournament before. Others, it'll be their first experience.
Yeah.
What did you learn from your first experience doing it that you can maybe impart on some of these younger players?
Yeah, I think it's just about, again, like I said before, having a lot of gratitude. It's super fun to be playing in March. And I know for my first experience, I just try to be as present as possible. I'm going to try to use that same mindset. But it's such a joy to be going to the NCAA tournament. That's why every single person plays college basketball, right? That is the dream, to go to the tournament, to be playing in March for that madness, right? So I think it's just really about enjoying the moment and staying as present as you can.
Jetty said he felt like you guys were more motivated by the loss than by wherever you ended up seeding, things like that. What have you seen now? Is because you're going to play good teams the rest of the way, and a bad game could end the season. So what are you seeing as you get prepared for this?
I think the biggest thing with that is our team is so competitive. We have a bunch of women who just want to win, and so the biggest, obviously, you have to win or you don't keep playing in March. So I think the biggest edge that we have as a team right now is how competitive we are and how much we want to win. So the whole rankings thing and the seeds and all that stuff matters less to us because we care more about winning than where we're seated or who we win against.